Hi everyone. If you're new here, my name is Debbie. This is my Crafty Dan, and I'm back today with another Memorydex challenge card. So you can use my prompt. I'll give you a prompt each week for the next week, or you can just use your own style and do whatever you want. Just create a Memorydex card. The only specifications that I had really were to create something for the holidays that are important to you, the ones that you celebrate. And the only one specific thing that I want you to do is for the week of your birthday, create a Memorydex card that is a birthday card to yourself in appreciation of yourself. So these are the cards that I have created so far. I have them in this little tissue box that I cut the top off and I decorated. So I've got 10 cards in here so far. I've been doing this for 10 weeks. You can go back and create from the first week if you want to catch up, but you don't have to do that. There's no beginning or end to this challenge. It's just something that is ongoing. So far, I've been doing a card every Monday. I don't create as much over the summertime, but I'm still going to try to create at least a Memorydex card every week. So this week, my prompt was, I had a couple prompts this week. I decided that I was going to do purple, fibers, and a character. I've gotten a few things out that I want to try to use this week. I have cheap little watercolors that I picked up from Temu, and I don't have very many watercolors. And my last Temu order, when it came in, these weren't with it. So how do these open? Like this. There's 20 colors in each one. I got 3 different ones. So you're getting a haul in this as well. I got these colors. They're purples, pinks, reds, and that looks like a gold and a silver. I got this color, yellows, vanilla colors, these creams, the metallics. It looks like I've got copper, bronze, a gold, a rose gold color. Just different. They got a little bit of a shine to them, but they don't really look metallic. Not like the other watercolors that I have. I just love the watercolors with a shine. And I got this blue-green palette. They were very cheap. I think they were a few bucks a piece. I know they're not very pigmented. I thought they'd be fun to play with when I'm doing things like this. I don't think I'd want to do a full watercolor painting or anything with these. It would be, I don't think it'd be worth your while to try to get the pigment, the color out of it. So that's what I have. And this week for my theme, I've got this background. This was actually cut from one of my collage books. And then I didn't use it. And so I'm going to put it on here. I've turned it down a little bit. I just wanted to make sure it was going to fit on here. And it barely does. So I'm going to put it on here. And then I'm going to go with some really contrasting theme this week. So I want purple. So I'm going to add purple to this to make it a little more purple. Then I've got this little, isn't he cute? So he looks like a little industrial scientist. But I thought I'd put him on there as well. And I also have some twine here. This is just that twisted butcher's twine type of stuff. But I had one in a purple. So I thought I would take some of the purple, untwist it from the white, and then just use a few fibers in here to add on somewhere. I do have a bit of a head cold still. It's what's happening with me is my allergies are absolutely out of control. So I've got some Crayola Super Tips here in the 2 colors of purple. But my allergies are absolutely out of control. Absolutely. And I'm having a really hard time. Like, I'm constantly clearing my throat. I'm I remember when my granddaughter's allergies acted up and she used to go all the time, make that noise. And I found I was doing it sometimes. Yeah, it is what it is. So I'm literally going over this with a Crayola Super Tip before I put anything on this card. I'm just going to put, and I might ruin this, I don't know, but I'm just going to put enough purple on here to make that mushroom have a really purple look to it. And I'm going to do the same thing with this one. So I'm literally just coloring, recoloring the mushrooms. So it soaks into the paper a little. I mean, it's almost going through. This is good quality paper. Yeah, sometimes if you don't have what you're looking for, you end up just making it. So I'm recreating the mushrooms on here. Isn't that different? So different color purple. These are more of a violet color. And yeah, just really nice. There. Little violets in here, coloring them up as well. I think I'm going to glue this on with some Mod Podge. I'm just going to use it right out of the bottle, put it on my card. I'm only going to put it on my card halfway up, because it's a little bit warm in here, and my craft room's always warm. So I'm going to put that on there. Now I'm just going to put this on here. So I'm going to grab my gift card so that I can kind of push this down. So I'm using, because I wanted the extra height this time, I used just a couple of those 4x6 index cards, and I glued them together yesterday so they'd be ready to go for today. Let's pull this up. And put that down. And already with just that orange off of there, it gives these this whole background a more purple look. Okay, so this little fella is going to go right in, right here with these 3 mushrooms beside him. I'm just going to put a little piece of plastic down here so I can glue on it. Okay, so that's what I have so far. I'm going to put a little bit of water down here. And I'm just going to go for this in this palette. I don't know what the names of any of these are. It didn't come with names. I said it was a really cheap set. There, let's see if this is going to add a little color down this side. That's quite good. I want to put some purple sky in the background, but I don't want to cover up the plants. So this cheap watercolor paint works fine for this. There. So a little bit of that kind of mauve sky in the background. And I'm going to do the same on this side. There. Okay, so I have that. This is just becoming a little more of a purple look. So before I do anything else to this, I need to punch my holes again. I hopefully won't be adding anything else to the bottom now. So that has changed that from a pink flowers with mushrooms to more of a purple look. It is dry in here because that watercolor is dried already. There. Now I want to add some highlights to this, and I want to add a word to it. So I'm going to look for a word. I don't know what I want yet. So I have this, and I didn't know where I would use this little quote here, or saying, or whatever this is, but it says, the impossible is often the untried. And seeing as looks like he's doing little experiments, I think that would make a good little sentiment on here. But I'm going to put it on in 2 pieces. I don't want it to be one continuous because it's too long. There. Now I'm going to grab my art glitter glue. So I broke my pin off in my bottle, and it was stuck in there so with the glue so bad that I had to pull it out with a pair of pliers, and I broke the head off my pin. So now I have to find another closure for my art glitter glue. So the impossible is often the untried. And I get that because a lot of times in my life I've said, oh, that's impossible, but I've done it anyway. So it makes sense. He's trying new things. I just put a thin little line down the middle, and then push it down. So the sticky backing that's on there will hold it down, and then once that glue dries, it'll be permanent. It won't pop off the page. So I'm going to take my paint pens, because I've got white paint pens. These Beager acrylic paint markers are really good. So I want to put, I think I want to put a little bit of highlight on the top of these mushrooms. And Do I want to put anything anywhere else? Maybe a little line down the outside of the bottle. Make that pop a little bit. A little bit of there. And I'm going to see if I can take that back off of there. It's acrylic paint. It hasn't cured yet. And it's washable. So let's see if it'll come off. And go over top of that with that purple. There. It lightened them up, and then I just went over top of them with the purple marker. It's too thick of a line. I need a fine point, and I do have fine point white pens, but I don't think they're working. I haven't used them for a long time. There. There, that's better. Just to lighten some of those up a little bit. And then there. So I think I'm going to take a thread out of this. I'm going to roll it up. And I'm going to put it right down on top of that flower. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I'm going to put a little glob of glue there. I'm going to grab my tweezers and then see if I can just put it right down in that glue, if that will dry there. And it will literally make these into some three-dimensional string flowers. There, I have that there. That's really cool. Wonder if I can find, I did find some I was looking for purple and I found sequins. I'm wondering if I can do this. There. Can I glue a little bit more glue on that? Sometimes you just play around, you're trying new things. Sometimes they don't work. Whoops. There. Should I do that to 3 more flowers, or to 2 more flowers? So I've got 3 of them. Maybe. I'm going to put a little glue down. Put that right there. Put a little bit more glue in the center, just a little drop down in there. And then find a sequin. I don't need a red one. Sometimes when I get doing this, I don't talk very much, so it ends up being a very quiet little segment. Push those down. Of course, when the glue dries, it won't show either. It'll be clear. And then that's what I have. So I do think I want some stitching around this. I am going to use my white paint pen for that. Here. Okay, so I want some white splatter on here. So to get my white splatter, I put some water on my little piece of plastic. It's just a piece of plastic card that I had out of some packaging, and I thought it would be good for this on the side of my table. I'm going to put, I had to get some new white paint. I just went to the Great Canadian Dollar Store this morning and grabbed this, and it is Color Factory. It's what they're carrying there now, and it's just the acrylic paint for grafters, it says, and it was $2 for a 4-ounce bottle, so it's still in my price range, very cheap. That was way too much for a couple of splatters, but let's see what I've got. I just want to cover up my little guy there. There. So my fiber is under the sequins to create these little flowers over in the corner. This is my character, and the whole thing has an overall purple to it. So I've covered all 3 of my prompts, and I kind of like the way it turned out. And I like that I mixed this little industrial boy here, the steampunk look, with the mushrooms. I don't think it would have worked as well with just flowers, but because these mushrooms are here, I think it works just fine. So I like the way that it turned out. I hope you do too. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know, are you just following along to watch, or are you actually making Memorydex cards? I'd love to hear from you if you are. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I would love if you did that before you left, so you can come back and see what else I'm up to. I'll see everyone in the next video. Bye-bye for now, everyone. Have a wonderful day.